If you can find ways to automate processes, especially repetitive tasks that you're doing time and time again, then you have more time to do things that you want to do, whether it be designing or not working and spending time with your family, whatever it is.
Welcome to the Architect My Business podcast. I'm Aya Schlachter, your host, founder and CEO of MGS Global Group. We provide architectural drafting and rendering services for busy firm owners and designers. From starting out solo to now leading a team of over 45 and growing, I've learned a thing or two about making a business thrive. Whether you're thinking of starting, already managing, or want to take your business to the next level, this podcast is for you. Each episode is packed with simple, actionable tips in leadership, people, marketing, processes, and of course, profit. I keep things real. Like you, I've got no time for fluff. This podcast is brought to you by MGS Global Group. Now, let's get into this episode. To the Architect My Business podcast, I'm Aya Schlachter, and today we're joined by Stephanie, Lindsay, and Jessica Nelson, the powerhouse duo behind Etch Design Group in Austin. Over the past decade, they've grown Etch into an award-winning, recognized nationally with honors like HGTV's Designer of the Year Award, multiple Best of House awards for both design and service, and over a dozen accolades from some of the most respected organizations in the industry. What makes their story even more inspiring is that they've achieved all of this while raising young kids, proving you can juggle family and a thriving design business. But beyond residential interiors, they've boldly expanded into styling, property management, and even AI education for interior design. At that heart of it all, it's their belief that beautifully designed spaces invite us all to be fully ourselves and that great design should feel extraordinary. So I'm so excited to share their journey with you. Welcome to the show, Stephanie and Jessica.
Thank you. That was such
Thank you for having us.
I was so excited. I said, let's get started because between all my questions and both of you are amazing. I wanted to welcome you both. And both of you are just powerhouse women and I admire both of you. So I was looking forward to this podcast. Just wanted to ask you how to share your story on how you meet cute and what made you realize that you were the right dynamic to build something together.
So Stephanie and I actually worked at a design firm together here in Austin. She had just moved here and it was, I feel like, a very ironic situation in how it came about. Steph, I'll let you tell how
the first interaction went there or the backstory to how I got to that.
Yes, to that.
Okay. I think it's an example of one of those stories where things don't work out and you think all the doors have closed and you're so frustrated in those moments in life. And really what's behind door number 2 is even better and you don't see it yet. So my husband and I were moving from Idaho to Texas, and we had known for a few months that he had gotten into graduate school there. And so I started looking for jobs. So I reached out to a contact that I had in California, and he said, hey, actually an architect that we've worked with moved to Austin. So let's reach out to him. So he connected us. I flew down to Austin, met with him, had a great interview, hired me. Everything was great. So we had this lined up for months. And then the week before we were set to move, he called me and he said, I am so sorry, but things have changed within our firm and we are not able to hire anymore. So I'm super sorry. And he was very gracious and nice. He said, before I reached out to you, I contacted some other firms in Austin to see if anyone else was hiring because I wanted to recommend you to someone, which was super thoughtful. And he said, this design firm is hiring right now and I'd like you to reach out to her. And so I said, okay, fine. Thinking, who knows where that's going to go. But I was super bummed because I really wanted to work with him. So fast forward to a couple weeks, then we're already moving. We're there in Austin and I go to meet this designer and the first person that I meet, I walk through the door and Jessica's standing there. And because she sat in the front room, I thought that she was the office manager. And so I just assumed.
Oh my God, that happens to me all the time.
And Jess goes, no, I'm Jessica. I don't even remember who it was at the time that was the main office manager. And so I thought it was her. And she goes, oh, no, I'm Jessica. I'm one of the designers. And I went, oh, okay, cool. So we do the interview, go through all that process, and it was great. What I didn't know at the time is that the designer that I interviewed with, the architect that referred me, was her almost idol. Like, she loved him too. So for him to refer me was next level. So she already had really high expectations of me. So it was, of anyone that could have referred me, that one was just a shoo-in. So it worked out obviously really well. And I got hired, started working with her, and immediately Jess and I got paired up on projects together. And we shared a desk for some time and shared a computer for some time. And it was really just a bonding experience. And we worked so well together that our boss decided to continue the partnership. So she paired us on projects moving forward. Yeah. Any new one that came in the door, she was like, hey, Steph, you take this, Jess can help. Hey, Jess, you take this, Steph can help. And then here we are today.
So how many years ago was that when you guys first met?
So we met in January of 2014.
Wow, that's 11 years. That's crazy. All right. So Jessica, what was it like meeting Stephanie for the first time? Were you like, I'm not the office manager, I'm the designer?
No, I think immediately Steph and I just hit it off.
Really?
Yeah, like within 24 hours, I think, of meeting Stephanie, we were on a job together, and it was a very odd job too. I remember this client had this massive collection of art that he was just moving here, and we had no specs on any of these art pieces. We had nothing, and we were literally supposed to go to his house and help him figure out where all of these art pieces were going to be like hung in this big house. And so it was like Stephanie and I were just kind of thrown in like a pack of wolves. We were just like, all right, we're going to figure this out. And I remember we like rode over there together, and there was never like any like downtime with Steph and I. We just immediately hit it off, and just, I don't know. It's just one of those relationships where you just know that this person's awesome and you just gel with them. And the funny story, I remember that the week that Stephanie started, I had a little cold, and my nickname, by the way, is Messy Jessie. And so I had this cold, and mind you, we're sharing a desk. And so Stephanie, I was like, hey, can you help me with this such and such on AutoCAD? And she was like, yeah, sure. So she comes and she sits down, and I have like tissues all over my desk. And she looks at me and she grabs like a disinfecting wipe, and she starts like wiping down my desk, and you can tell she's just, bless you.
Did you have kids yet or not? This was pre-kids, pre-husbands? Or no, Stephanie, you were married already, but Jessica.
Jessica knew her fiance. Yeah. They were engaged at the time, and then they got married.
So this one was pre-kids, like, and then when was that when you decided to quit your jobs and start Etch Design Group?
Yeah, so there were a lot of things going on. I had been struggling with infertility for years and had been going through treatments, and hormones were all over the place, and I was a disaster. And Jess and her then husband, so now we're fast forward to 2015, a year later, they were building a home together, and she was the lead designer and general contractor, and was like,
and everything else.
She was meeting with them all the time and taking the phone calls for the tile guy and the plumber who's, hey, I should just showed up. And she's like, I thought you were supposed to be there tomorrow and not today. And so I knew that I was going to have surgery. And so we both ended up leaving around the same time. It wasn't exactly the same time, but around the same time. And then after we left, we thought, okay, well, let's really start this. And then that next month after we started Etch, I got pregnant.
Oh, congrats. That's great. So what year was that?
2015.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's great. So the firm has been together already 10 years.
10 years. Yeah.
So why Etch Design Group?
So it means that the domain was available.
You guys are so cute.
We decided we wanted to have design group as part of it because
Yeah.
we knew we didn't want it to just be the two of us.
Yeah.
And we really saw a vision for a team. We didn't know what that would look like. We just knew it wouldn't always be the two of us. And then from there, we went through a list of probably 200 words that would attach to design group. And then that filtered down to what domains were available and then which ones she vetoed and which ones I vetoed. It's similar to choosing a baby's name, honestly.
Oh my God.
Like,
I didn't choose
yeah.
out of 200 names. Sorry.
But you know how your significant others like,
Yeah,
I hate that name, so we're not going to do that. And then you're like, but I really like that name, but I hate that name that you love. And and
what were the top 3 contenders? Do you remember?
I feel like there was something that had dwell in it.
There was, which ironically, it still came into the mix because my husband ended up starting a construction company a few years back. And it became Dwell Development. So I feel like the Dwell still came into the mix.
Got in there.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
So I probably pushed Etch. I feel like I was more pro Etch. Would you say that, Jess?
I don't know. We both
equally.
But once we finally landed on it, we're like, okay, domain is good. We're both feel good about this. All right, let's sleep on it one night. And then we'll come back tomorrow. And if our gut and everything says, yes, this is it, then we're going to do it. We get back the next day and the domain name is gone.
Oh, what? Etch Design Group is gone?
Yeah. Gone. So side note, part of the reason that we liked Etch was because there's a lasting impression there. Whatever is
I love it.
It's permanent.
Yes.
So that was our main mantra. And we're lamenting that day. Like we've been through the whole process and we finally decide and we agree and it's gone. So in comes my husband who's, well, let's find out who bought it. And I'm like, how do you do that? So he researched, found it, emailed them. And it turns out they were a group that also just bought domain names.
Yeah, I do that too, by the way. I buy domain names.
Is there anything you don't do? I mean,
just a few, not a lot, but anyway.
So he reached out and they sold it to us for less than what we were going to get it from GoDaddy for.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I was looking at your website and here it says currently etching Action Academy new build. I'm like, oh, I like that. I like what you said in the website. Like you're currently etching. So that's why I had
thing that we've said from the very beginning, like our very first project that we were ever like in progress on, it was like currently etching, and that's always just stuck and stayed.
That's great. Oh, I love your story. Let's talk a little bit about your portfolio because obviously I want to talk about the amazing work that you do. You've said beautifully designed spaces is an invitation to be fully ourselves. I'm looking at all these houses. Are all your clients like millionaires? It's amazing. It's like they all look like they belong in HGTV or those celebrities that don't want their houses published, but the kitchens are stunning. It's just so beautiful. I love your design aesthetic. So what is your design inspiration? Is it from the client? Do they give you a lot of input or how does that work? Because residential clients, it's their forever home and they tend to be very picky, particular, confused. They don't know what they want. They have 100 pins from Pinterest. Like, how do you manage that process, especially for something so intimate like a kitchen?
So the first thing I'll say is that we have an amazing team. So when it comes to that design group and choosing our name and not knowing necessarily how that would come to fruition, we know now, and they're pretty freaking amazing. So they each have their own design aesthetic to some degree, and then they're really good listeners to clients. So with each client that comes on, yes, we look at their Pinterest boards and inspiration images, and then our team will also pull more images to make sure we're aligned on style. We talk through what it is that they like, what it is that they don't like, all of that sort of thing. But honestly, we really, really try to cater to the client's aesthetic and not necessarily our own personal aesthetic. And I hope that that comes through in our portfolio, that it's got a mix of styles there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'm really looking at this. It makes me want to renovate my house, but maybe later, right?
In all your
Um,
free time.
I know, right? Well, my daughter's in college now, and my son's 16, so it's like he's gonna get his license soon. I'm like, yes. So you've won over a dozen national awards, HGTV Designer of the Year in 2021, I think, and also all this house recognitions, house HOUZZ. That's one of the top websites for people to select the architects' reviews and all that. How does that work exactly? Can you talk about that process of awards and how you get recognized and how has it helped your business?
It's actually a wide array. Some we apply for and some we don't. So with House specifically, they just have certain benchmarks in order to get awards each year. And so we don't have to apply to those as long as we've reached a certain amount of, say, 5-star reviews or uploaded a certain amount of projects, that sort of thing, then those awards are handed out by those benchmarks. And then for others, you actually fill out a physical application and submit for it.
That's great. Jessica, for the people who don't know anything about House, can you explain what House is for architects or some of the potential clients who might not know?
Yeah, absolutely. House is actually a great website for anyone that's looking to do any kind of work on their house, get inspiration, whether you're doing new construction, remodel, or just trying to get some design inspiration. House basically has a wide array of architects, designers, landscape architects, landscapers, any kind of to the trade individual will go on and actually submit their projects to House. And we have our, I guess, House professional, website on there where you can see our work, our portfolio, our reviews by people that have actually used us. And so it's kind of I would say like a vetting process almost for anyone that's looking to hire someone for work on their house and get a good idea of who they are, who the pros are, and who they gravitate towards in terms of style and that kind of stuff. You can save like boards and things of, I don't know, just different idea books, inspiration. And it's just you can get lost on House, really.
So is it also like a Pinterest for if people just want to look for specific design inspiration for a kitchen? It's easier to, right?
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of forums and articles and things like that. They have writers. House has writers as well. So it's just a wealth of information that you can find on really remodeling and the construction industry, which I think for anyone that's looking to do any kind of work on their house, getting just insights and knowledge and understanding of the process is helpful. And I feel like House is really good for that.
So interior designers and architects who want to get more digital presence, they should be on House. And people who want to look for architects in their areas and designers House is also a great resource, correct?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's great. Now let's talk about your firm and firm management and firm growth. I love all this. When did you decide, both of you, that you were going to be entrepreneurs? Was it at a young age? Yeah, I just want to know your entrepreneurial journey and when you realized it was the right thing for you. Start with Stephanie.
Mine was, honestly, I don't know that there was a specific age, but by high school, I had it in my mind. I remember senior year of high school that for some scholarships, like local scholarships, they had you put together a concept for a future business or things like that. And so at that point, even I already had put together interior design business ideas. My mom worked from home, and so she had her own business. So growing up, I saw that example. And I think that probably instilled the idea for me and the confidence that, oh, okay, this is doable.
What business was she in?
She made teeth, actually.
What?
Yeah, she was a dental lab technician. So she made crowns and bridges.
Okay.
And so she had her own lab in our home and she ran her own business and yeah, did great.
That's amazing. What about you, Jessica?
Steph and I were actually just talking about this. This question probably about a week ago, actually. I kind of thought back on this one because my grandfather, he owned his own business. He owned a heating and air company. And I was very, very close with my grandfather. And I would always go on job sites with him and travel around and things like that. So I got to see like his hardworking nature, and just, he was always, literally till the day he could not work anymore, he was working. And so I think that was just instilled in me from the get-go. I look back and I think about, I had no idea I was going to do interior design until 2009. That's when I went back to school for interior design. But I remember in high school, I was 14, 15 maybe. And I started an online, it was called a zine, like a magazine, basically.
Oh, wow. I love it.
I hired meaning I would send them like little freebies and things, because we would do like these contests, and I would get these random packages in the mail, and my mom would be like, Jessica, what is this? And I'd be like, oh, that's one of my sponsors sent me something for a contest that I'm doing. And so not only
you were 15, you said 15?
I was 15, and I had writers, and I would like interview people, and I made it as cute as possible. And I would go on to these like chat rooms, and I would be like, does anyone want to be part of my magazine? I was just like out there and in the world. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And that was 14, 15. So yeah, I look back at that and I was like, I guess it started pretty early because I didn't know anyone else that was doing that.
It's your magazine is zine. There's a zine. It's one of the top magazines now, right? Now it makes sense. Before, I'll tell them a backstory. Jessica and I met thinking we were going to do a podcast, but I figured I wanted to wait for Stephanie and I met earlier, right? And I'm like, wait, I want to interview Jessica too, because both of them are we haven't even gotten to all their other businesses. So now I'm just setting the stage for all the other things you're doing. And it's not even on the website, right?
Yeah.
So now that we've established some of the early on, you were already entrepreneurs at heart. What was this like getting your first and second client? Was it super exciting? And how was that when did you decide to hire your first employee?
First and second client, really exciting. I don't even know what else to say about that. One of the very first clients that we had is still a dear friend. Like, we still text all the time. She sends us Instagram links. It was like more than just a project to us.
Very special.
Very special. Yep.
Residential
At the end
work?
of it. Yep. Residential. At the end of it, she gave us each a Gucci purse. And that was the first time.
That explains all the fancy homes.
That was the first time I had ever been even near Gucci. And so very special, those first projects. And then we randomly would get approached for internships. And so we would hire an intern here and there. And we had early on, even just a couple designers that we would pay hourly to just help us on projects. Hiring someone full-time with a salary made us nervous because it felt like a huge responsibility and a huge commitment. And so once I was pregnant with my second, and Jess had her first child, that's when we went, okay, we're outnumbered at this point. Like, we're about to be outnumbered and we probably need some help. And I think Jess she is a visionary and can see much more ahead of, okay, Stephanie, you can do this. Like, just stay positive. I know it's scary, but you can take the next step, even though it's unknown. So she had said a couple times, like, hey, let's meet with so-and-so and let's meet with so-and-so. And so we had kind of started interviewing, but didn't really feel 100% right. And we didn't post a job. And then out of nowhere, a designer reached out to us and said, hey, I'm moving to Austin. I saw your website and your Instagram, and I'd really love the opportunity to chat with you about a job. And she just checked all the boxes. So we didn't even have to post a job posting or anything. She just came to us and we interviewed her, and it was like, no question, she was supposed to be with us. So that was 3 years in.
So now that you hired your first employee, you thought that you could take on more work, right? And were you worried about the pipeline and how you were able to,
It's
I'm
so
pay
still
great.
worried
a
about the
third?
pipeline.
You're a team of 8 now, right? Is it 8
There's
or
8 and 10 with me and Jess.
yeah, because I just looked at your website. So how does that give you anxiety? Jessica, how do you manage like your pipeline planning and all the finances? And before I ask that, maybe right now, since you've evolved to like a more bigger organization, what are your roles in the company? So Jessica, let's start with you.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll actually let Stephanie answer the first part of that question, but in terms of roles, so Stephanie, we didn't even talk about this yet, but Stephanie actually works remote. She's in Utah and she manages the team from afar. And while I am here in Austin, what was it? I guess early last year, we started our second company. Well, I don't know if it would really be our second company. It'd be our third company. I don't know.
Okay.
Regarding AI for interiors. And once we started that company, I transitioned more to that side of things. And then Stephanie actually runs Etch on the day-to-day now. And so even though I'm here in Austin, I'm doing AI full time these days. It is quite as you can imagine, with all of the AI hype, it keeps me rather busy. The girls, we have a great team at the office and we've structured it to where we have kind of pods, if you will. And then we've got one lead design director and she oversees a lot of things at the office and the design team. We have a leadership team, which is amazing. Honestly, really couldn't do it without our team. Like they are our lifeblood and they keep everything running. And it allows Stephanie and I now to be able to do other things that we really enjoy and want to do. But the day-to-day is kind of in the office with the team these days. It's been very interesting the way that the last few years has panned out and mapped out.
What was it like transitioning to handing it off to the team, like the design? We have a design director, which is great, and you probably have interior designers under that design director. What was it like for you? Did it give you freedom? Did you say, yes, I don't have to do all this for now?
It was very scary.
Yeah.
I think it came down to this idea of what do we really want to be doing? Because at the end of the day, we have a very capable team and we've always given them a lot of autonomy with what they do. And that's one of our like foundational words is autonomy. But, we hired a business coach, I guess it was probably 2020. And that was our first business coach we'd ever hired. But we were at this kind of foundational point in the business where it was a crossroads for us because we were working so much. We felt like the work-life balance, while we say we really wanted it, like it was not there. And we've struggled with this idea for so long of the reason why we started Etch was because we wanted that work-life balance. And here we were burning the candle at both ends with young families. And it was really hard. And so we were like, we need to regain our ability to break loose at night, actually spend time with our families and not feel like we're just constantly working all the time. And so we're like, how do we do that? And so we hired this coach. And she said, well, you need to make the conscious decision to figure out what it is that you really want to do. Do you want to be designing? Do you want to be leading the business? Do you want to be like, what's your passion? What's your goals? And like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Is it still in the day-to-day weeds of design? Is it leading the business? Is it doing other things? What does that look like for you? And I think for both of us, it wasn't in the day-to-day design. Like we had bigger aspirations and we knew that we wanted to grow Etch, but we also knew that we had other things that we wanted to do as well. And the only way that we were going to be able to do that was to be able to step outside of the monotony, leading one project to the next and being the point person for our clients. And not that we don't love our clients, but our goals were bigger. And so it was like, okay, our team is very capable and they can do this. And so we have to learn how to fully put our trust in our teams without wanting to dive in and jump in anytime something goes awry or the client's upset or whatever.
If you're running a growing architecture firm, you're probably not short on projects, you're short on people. Talent shortage is real. Finding and retaining skilled professionals takes time. Meanwhile, deadlines keep getting closer. And when you're balancing growth with quality, it gets harder to maintain your project standards as the work piles up. We are here to bridge the gap. We provide qualified architecture staff on demand so you can scale your delivery without compromising quality. That's what MGS Global Group does. Whether you're overwhelmed with construction documentation, need BIM support, or your internal systems just aren't built for this level of growth, our team plugs in seamlessly. Think of us as an extension of your in-house team without the long hiring process. And because we work across time zones, your projects keep moving even after your office closes for the day. If your timelines are starting to feel stretched and your team's at capacity, visit mgsglobalgroup.com. We can get started in 24 hours. We're here to help you scale smarter and deliver faster with quality, consistency, and peace of mind.
There are ways to figure this out without us having to be the ones leading and doing that all day, every day.
For coaches out there, you're like their dream clients because you actually do what they say. I know a lot of coaches are like, people will pay them the money to coach them, but still do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you guys are action takers, obviously. Well, we're going to talk about the other businesses and your podcast. We haven't gotten there yet. But Stephanie, in terms of pipeline planning and marketing, like how do you manage that process?
Yeah. So it's ever evolving. Unfortunately, we're never perfect. That's life. We are still growing and still learning. So we're still in that process of refining the marketing. But when it comes to the pipeline, we've really only had one time where we've had a true wait list. So we are pretty strategic about saying, okay, this lead designer has 3 really active projects, so she's full. And then this designer has 1 really active project. These other ones are wrapping up. And so we need to fill her pipeline. So it's looking at it month to month and then assigning based on that workload.
What happens if you're running out? Like, how do you generate leads? Is it through the podcast, is it through house? You go to networking events, ask for referrals?
So we don't actually ask for referrals all that often. I can think of maybe one time that we've sent out a text to a couple of past clients, but for the most part, there's architects and builders and then clients that reach out to us and just say, hey, a friend of mine needs this, or the architects or builders are saying, hey, we have this new project. Could you take a look at it? So 60% of the scopes that we sign come from those referral sources. And then the rest come from Google. And now
Google reviews?
Google SEO.
I mean,
so they
the
go and
SEO,
type in interior designers, Austin, Texas, and find us and reach out to us that way.
Yeah. Plus, you have a really massive digital footprint between all your awards. And you mentioned ChatGPT. Did Jessica train the model? No, just
I'm still training the model. Every day I train the model.
Are you like telling ChatGPT your perplexity, deep seek? Yeah. So that's great. So let's talk about all the other projects. But I know you have a styling business, correct? So can you talk about all the businesses, including the AI for interiors? And how does that relate to your current existing Etch Design? Does it help with the design or is it completely separate? Can you talk about all the pivots and businesses?
I think they're all very separate. I think there's a synergy there, right? That they naturally help each other, but I don't think it's necessarily the clientele. The clientele is very different for each one.
Can you describe the other 3? Yeah.
And then we've got AI for interiors, which Jess talked about, and we serve interior designers, architects, a lot of industry partners, vendors that want training on AI. We have a monthly membership, we have speaking engagements, and then we train one-on-one as well. And then with our styling business, it's called Postscript Styling, or we call it PS Styling. And that primarily serves other designers and architects and builders in the Austin area. So if they have a photo shoot coming up, but they don't want to do the styling, then we'll come in and style for the photo shoot. And we work hand in hand with the photographer with that, most of the referrals come from the photographers. And then we also help other designers that, you know, how every designer has their own part of the process that they love. Like some love remodels and they don't want to do furnishings. Well, a lot of designers seem to have their hands in a lot of the parts, but styling, like they don't want to do the accessories and place the pretty books and the flowers and the plants. And we really like that. So we will do that for their clients as well. Like they'll just hire us to come in and finish that. So that's Etch, AI, and PS. And then we have a Etch Property Management, which owns an office in Austin that we rent out to an architect, a builder, another design firm, and then our design firm.
So now you know why I'm so excited to have you here. Like, it's not enough that you're running a multi-million-dollar design firm. You also have a styling company, an AI educational platform, and a property management firm. So do you guys sleep at night? Like, how does that work? What makes you really
Again, our team is amazing. Okay. So PS Styling started because one of our team members who we absolutely love and adore came to us and said she wanted to do more of that. So she primarily runs that. AI is obviously run by Jess. I'm more Etch, and then the property management kind of just runs itself. So yeah, we sleep. Jess probably less. She gets really excited about something and then stays up late. I guess we both do from time to time, but yeah, having a great team is the key in my opinion.
So what is the most exciting thing for you both right now, like in the next week or like this month, or maybe towards the next 3 months before the year closes? What is the one thing that's, yes, I'm really excited, because there's a lot. So is there a favorite project that you both are really excited about till the end of the year?
I know, that's it. I mean, I have different answers for the next week, the next month.
I know.
The next
like today is different, right?
Yeah, I think we both have a really big vision for AI for interiors and see the capabilities there. I'm excited about lots and lots of things, but big vision, AI for interiors, creating efficiencies, not only for us, but for others in the community and helping the whole design industry elevate. I think it can be really big with automations and helping as many in the design industry as we can.
What about you, Jessica?
Yeah, I've done so many team onboardings lately for AI that love to fix problems. And I think that's why I geek out on some of this AI stuff so much, is that I really get a good sense of where the issues lie in all of these design firms. And they're all very similar. They're different in certain ways because there's no consistency in terms of design firms and how they operate. Like this design firm will use these software programs, and then this design firm will use these software programs, but they all have the same pain points. And so my goal ultimately is for us to create some sort of SaaS application platform, something to be able to help resolve some of these issues that I keep finding in all of the same design firms. Because if we can help alleviate some of these pain points, it just gives you your time back. And that's, I feel like, what AI should be there for, is to give you your time back. and that's why I think it's so beneficial right now, especially on the back end administrative side of things, to automate processes, especially repetitive tasks that you're doing time and time again. Then you have more time to do things that you want to do, whether it be designing or not working and spending time with your family, whatever it is. Ultimately, I think our goal. And then something I'm really excited about, we just got invited to the Adobe Max conference next month. Like, we got invited, so we're ambassadors for them. And like, they invited us, like, paid trip to go to the Adobe Max thing and get to see all the cool stuff that they're launching. And I'm really trying to figure out a way to go. I had literally told Stephanie, I'm not traveling after October 5th. That's the last thing. I'm not taking anything else on.
Why?
And then that comes up in my email and I'm like, oh, are you kidding? It's so much for no more travel, huh, Jess? And I'm like, oh, I just really want to go. So I haven't talked to my husband about it yet.
He'll find out from the podcast.
Right. I got to butter him up a little bit. I'll make him
No.
dinner or something first, but he's going to be like,
Yeah.
you said no more travel. He even reminded me this morning, my son, he goes, Daddy said after the beginning of next month, you're not traveling anymore for a while. And I was like, yeah.
How often do you travel,
Do
Jessica? How often do you travel?
I've been traveling a lot lately. I was traveling this week. I was traveling last week. I was traveling the week before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot lately.
Oh, wow. For me, I was traveling for the last 6 months. I'm taking a break. And then my travel starts on October 1st again.
Yeah.
So we're the opposite, right? That's great. And one thing I love about what you do is as entrepreneurs, you're there really to solve a problem, right? A lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs, they want to start a business to make money. A lot of young entrepreneurs like freedom of time, but really build wealth. But in your case, you're solving a really good problem. And I don't see why your AI for interiors would not succeed, because you're really hitting a lot of pain points for a lot of people in the design professional. And for my listeners, Stephanie and Jessica have two podcasts called, one is AI for interiors, like me, AI for architects. And the other one is You Have 100 Lunches, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So apart from their 4 businesses, they also run 2 podcasts. Yeah. So I will have Jessica and Stephanie on the other podcast as well, AI for interiors, because I want to be able to share your resources to all the interior designers that we have in our audience, because I think they can benefit from the work that you do. And also because you're not a consultant working on an interior design firm. You're an interior designer working on solving your own problems. See, there's a lot of pushback and like failures in other consulting firms coming into different companies trying to do AI consulting, but they fail because they're outsiders. You took the time and energy to really build this out, and I'm really looking forward to all the things you're doing in the AI space.
No, it's very exciting. We love it. We love it.
Yeah. So what is your advice for young women who are trying to build a business, raise a family, and do all the things? So what kind of mistakes did you make before that you don't want the newer generation to avoid, especially young women who want to run multiple businesses and become really successful? Stephanie.
I was going to say, Jess, do you have any thoughts there?
Invest in people, like good people for your business, because we have learned the hard way many times where as entrepreneurs and people that know how to do things, it doesn't always mean that you should do things. And so I think investing in people that can help you grow your business successfully, because that is what they do well, whether it be a web designer, whether it be marketing people, whether it be bookkeeping people, whatever it is. Like, it's not saying that you don't have the skills to be able to do those things. And maybe in the beginning, like as starting off, like you have to do that because the finances aren't there to be able to do it. But when you have the means to be able to start investing in the people that will help you succeed, your time gets freed up because you can then have them doing the work that you really don't even need to be doing anyways. Let the experts do their expertise, right? And you do your expertise, and it will grow your business so much faster that way. I feel as like business savvy people, like we have this constant need for just like being in control and being like, no, we can do it. We don't want to spend the money. We can do it. We can keep our hands wrapped around it. And sometimes it's just, but let it go. Do you really need to be doing that? Is this the most valuable thing that you can be doing with your time? Ask yourself that. And then if the answer is no, then don't do that. So that's one thing that comes to mind. And then I would say the other thing too is you have to just find those passions within you that just really light your soul on fire. And when you do that, everything else I feel like just falls into place, because like the energy, the vibrations that you put out into the world, like it all just comes right back, and you just become so much happier because you're doing exactly what you should be doing, what you love to be doing. And then I feel like everything in the world just kind of like falls into place, and it's just, you're right where you're supposed to be. I don't know. Those are the two.
It's like how Stephanie was gonna get a job in another firm and then you met. It's kind of woo-woo, right? The universe is, I know it's so weird, but it's just really giving me goosebumps, right? And Stephanie, what is your advice for or previous mistakes that you don't want young female entrepreneurs to make?
Yeah. So mine, as Jess was talking, I 100% agree with her that if we could go back in time, we probably would have invested more in people early on to help us with business things. And I think early on, almost any time, but especially early on, there's a lot of fog. Like it's really easy to get caught up in, okay, where do I spend my time? And is this going to succeed? So on and so forth, that I think it's important to take some quiet time and make sure that you're taking care of yourself, but also getting clarity, like that you're not just working in it every day, but you're also working on the business too, and strategizing and making sure that you have clarity on what it is that you should focus on and taking care of yourself.
I know health is really a wealth. You know, what to do with all that money if you don't have time or the health to
Right.
spend it, right?
And the other thing I'll say is that this Etch wasn't the first business that Jess and I ever had.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
she talked about her magazine, her online
Yeah.
magazine, but we both had Etsy shops.
wow.
My mom and I had started another business together. There are other things, and going back to Jess's comment about finding a passion and something that stays with you, that keeps you up at night. You're so excited about it, and it'll get you through the hard times. That we've had failures too, and that's totally normal. And honestly, those failures have been successes too. It's all in how you look at it. So just making sure that you know your worth, and that it's not always all about the dollar sign.
Yeah. So a lot of people have partnerships with friends or colleagues and they don't work. What is the secret to making your partnership, your business partnership work? Because I hear a lot of horror stories.
Oh, we had so many people that were like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Like, how long have you known her for?" All these, we've heard it all. We have heard it all.
Yes.
Well, even years into it, and I felt like we had proven ourselves, that people would say, this isn't going to last. Partnerships don't last. So it may be great now, but just don't hold on to it because it's not going to last. And we're like, who are you to say what is going to happen with us? I truly, truly just know that we were supposed to be together, and that God put us together for a reason, and that's supposed to be for life. So I think part of it is truly respecting each other. We truly, like, humbly have respect for each other and know each other's worth. That even if we disagree, we have the ability to tell each other, and talk through it. Or we know we can go to each other and say, I'm really struggling. Like, I need help. And that the other person is 100% going to back you up regardless. And then the other part too, which we haven't even talked about, is there have been things that have happened throughout our friendship and business, like Jess's husband being in a plane crash, and
I'm so
lots
sorry.
of like horrible things that have brought us to our knees, where we've gone, okay, what's really important in life? And I think that has helped us not get caught up in those things that would tear us apart, but focus more on the things that bring us together. Jess,
that's great.
Yeah, I think that from day one, Steph and I just naturally gravitated towards one another, and we work really well together in the sense that the things that I don't do so well at, like Stephanie does amazing at, and the things that Stephanie doesn't really like to do, like I love to do. And it's just this good balance between us. But I do also think that most partnerships probably fail because of lack of communication and lack of being able to have those conversations that need to be had. And Steph and I have had lots of conversations over the years that have not been easy, but we still have them because they're imperative to have. And that doesn't mean they're bad conversations. That's just being upfront and honest. And you have to have that honesty and that transparency whenever you're, just like you would a marriage. You have to have that it's like a business marriage. And so she is my work wife. Like, we have to have those open lines of communication in everything that we do, because the second you start to build any kind of animosity with anyone, it will just add and add and add. And so we didn't make it 10 years by animosity adding. Like, we can sense whenever someone, like the other person, like needs something, and hey, let's talk, what's going on? And then we have those conversations like, all right, let's figure out how to get past this and let's move on. And we're always having those conversations with each other of what does the other person need? What do they not need? And just figuring out what works and what doesn't. And I feel like that's what 10 years has looked like for us, is like, what works, what doesn't, what do we need to do more of? What do we need to do less of? What are our goals? What are our aspirations? What can we work towards? What do we not want anymore? Like, we have all the conversations. And she's my best friend.
That's great that you really have evolved together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
I'll add one more.
Yeah.
Which is that our husbands are both very supportive, and Scott is supportive of both of us, and Ian is supportive of both of us. Like, they're both cheering both of us on too, which I think like just helps reinforce that we're on the right path.
Yeah. Same thing. My husband is like always supporting me. But I have a question about, since I've seen, I mean, based on the story, you've really evolved from starting from just the two of you to growing all the businesses and building your media and business empire. What do you think is your zone of genius? Each of you, that, like, what is that one thing that Stephanie brings to the table that only you can do? And for Jessica, what is your zone of genius? Pick one or two, three.
Can I
That's uniquely yours.
Can we?
That's literally what I was gonna say.
Yes,
could I answer
I like
for
that.
Jess?
Yeah.
She's gonna struggle with this, but I'm like, I could tell you that.
Okay, yeah, that I like that. Yeah.
Stephanie's the perfect balance between creativity and analytical. She will always think from the standpoint of, yes, let's dream big, but also let's talk about the strategic side of this. Let's put a plan in place, and let's be like thoughtful in how we're doing something, instead of just jumping in first and, like I would, and just like free falling and being like, I know my parachute will open eventually.
I think I'm more like a Jessica. Anyway.
Stephanie, let's be thoughtful in how we're doing this. Let's think through it. She's also extremely thoughtful on relationships, not only building them, but also fostering relationships as well. And like, her number one goal, I think, throughout everything has always been like, let's take care of the team. Let's make sure the team has what they need. Let's check in. Let's do reviews. Just making sure that everyone on the team always feels taken care of, and like their goals, their ambitions, their whatever they need is met. And like, it's never, we talk about the finances, like the money and stuff. It's never about the money. Like, it's about the people. And so like the people is always the first thing. And like the money is what comes if everything else is working the way that it should be working. And we like that's kind of the thought process behind it all. And so we could be incredibly broke, but if we had a happy team, we would probably be just as happy. And I think that's just kind of Stephanie's thought process in it all, is like people first. And I mean, both of us too, but like Stephanie, like that's her driving thing, is like relationships, people, and just making sure we have a good solid foundation to be able to keep the business sustainable and moving forward. I think she just excels in both of those things.
That's wonderful.
I feel very similarly about Jessica. She also is very, very creative, but also very intentional. She is a visionary, and I know I mentioned that before, but I think she really excels at seeing what could be when others around her are just able to see what's right in front of them. And she can see long-term, she can see possibilities, and then she has the ability and the confidence to then back up those visions. One thing early on that I noticed about her 11 years ago was that she has a confidence about her that she's able to have any conversation. No conversation scares her. And although behind the scenes, she might have a little bit of anxiety about something, like to anyone outside, she is, whoa, where did this powerhouse come from? Because she can have tough conversations with anyone, whether it's a team member or a client, but then she can also really inspire people and get people excited, and her energy is really contagious. So she's just a badass.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing, guys. Congratulations. I really enjoyed our conversation. Any parting thoughts that come to mind before we end our podcast? We will still have you both at the AI for interiors because that's a huge conversation, but any parting thoughts?
No. Only last thing I would say, and I touched on this briefly about paying for people, but if you're, for anyone that's out there that's like, I'm at a crossroads, I'm not sure what to do, hire a business coach. We should have done it probably a long time before we did. And we talk about investing in people, but business coaches, I never really understood the value until we really got one. And then I was like, wow, you can like actually talk to people about your problems. That's not a therapist, but like truly business related, and they'll guide you. And this is amazing. But we were just at a conference not too long ago, and she was talking about, she's like, when our kids, we see that our kids want to do something, we will go above and beyond. We will hire anyone and everyone will go buy all of the things. If they want to be a ballerina, we'll go enroll them in this and have them a teacher, and we'll get them all the ballerina gear and all the stuff. But when it comes to our business, we're like, oh, we'll do it on our own. And we won't hire and get ourselves the tools that we need to be successful. And this is supposed to be our business. This is what will pay for the ballerina school and all the things. And so you have to think about it from that standpoint. And I thought that was really brilliant, actually, because I was like, it's true. Like anytime my kids show any interest in anything, I'm like, let's do it. If you want to do it, let's do it. Let's do it right. But as adults, we think very differently in that. And I don't know why, but it was like an eye-opening like thought process for me. And I was like, it is so true. So invest in the people, but invest in your business as well. And make sure that you're hiring someone that is the right fit for you too. You have to find a business coach that is the right fit.
So on the design side, we hired Pearl Collective.
Yeah.
And stayed with them for years. And then I also think there's comes a time when you need to pivot, and you might need a different coach that's going to get you to the next level. And sometimes you need different perspectives. So now we actually have a coach that isn't in interior design at all.
Oh, like that's great. Just a business coach.
So it's totally outside of the industry and gives us a different perspective.
But the right fit is so key. Like you have to be able to talk to them, have open conversations with them, and accept what they're telling you, because if you don't, then all that money,
then you're just spending money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. On the flip side of that, if it's not feeling right, anything in life, like Jess talked about hiring a business coach, you're on the right track. You just need more help. But if something doesn't feel right and you're not on the right track, my advice is life's really short. It feels like it goes on forever, but it's actually just a blip. It's so quick. It's amazing to me how quick life goes. And it's really not worth spending time doing something that you don't love. So if you feel like you need to pivot, and it can be as small as a pivot of, I haven't exercised in a long time and I feel like I really need that in my life, then that's a small pivot you can make, and you can plan for that. Or I need a career change, and that's a big pivot. Life's short and it's okay to pivot.
Thank you so much, Stephanie and Jessica. I really, really, really enjoyed this conversation.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
How are you? Thanks for having us.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Architect My Business podcast. If you want more, head over to architectmybusiness.com for more episodes, show notes, and links to everything mentioned in this episode. Don't forget to catch our mini shows, Her Space, Ask Aya, and our main show, Architect My Business. If you enjoyed our episodes and want to hear more, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Your feedback really helps us grow. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye!